Hello, everyone. Today I am here with Jason Dean, president of Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance, and we're going to be talking about what we're doing for the March for Life and a dance party. It's called a Soiree, which I had to look up on Google and find out that was a dance party because I didn't know what that word was. And so, Jason, maybe you could tell me what was the origin of this idea of the soiree?
Well, we wanted to get together some alternate pro-life groups and something close to the March for Life. We've done the march several years, but really haven't had our own event. We've piggybacked on other people's events, but not had our own. So that's kind of what inspired our first thoughts about doing something.
Okay, so we wanted something fun we could do while we're there for the March for Life too,
Yeah.
and that sounds good. Now I have never been to the March for Life yet. This could be my first time ever in my life to go because we're planning for me to go with you.
Mhm.
Um, so. What should I expect, as well as anybody else who has never gone to the March for Life? What would they expect? Like, what's the outline? What typically happens?
Well, at the march, the alternative pro-life groups usually kind of coalesce, if you will, best we can. And we pick a meeting spot, and I'm not sure where that is this year, but we will get the word out. Well, when you come to our event, the soiree the evening before. So that's part one. There'll be a ton of people. It varies, but like hundreds of thousands. So if you haven't been around a huge crowd before, this is going to be it. So it's fun. It's a little might be scary for some. The first time I went, I was a little bit kind of deer in the headlights, because little Kansas boy here, not used to having a couple 100,000 people close together like that. So, and then there's actual march, a parade, and we used to end up. We started like at the Lincoln Memorial and went to the Supreme Court building. And this year, frankly, I don't remember exactly, but there'll be a parade route, and then at the end, there'll be speakers and so forth for that event. So, but that's all the pro lifers. There's a lot of young people, a lot of different like college groups and high school groups that go. You'll see a lot of diversity. There's a lot of Catholic groups and Christian groups, but you'll see some vegans for life and of course we'll be there and secular pro life and Jewish for life and Buddhist for life. There's a lot of neat people there that you'll meet, and it's just I think you'd have a really good time. But it's January, so dress warm. It's gonna be outside.
Yeah, it's going to be cold in January. And I like this idea because there's going to be people from all over the country, people of different religious and political backgrounds. And I think it's good because people get in their own bubble, only the people that they know. And it's good to meet people who are different. And not that long ago, in fact, this is actually very relevant. There's this I think it's called Dank Pro-Life Memes. You may be aware of it. It's like this Facebook page where they share all these memes with the pro-life message and stuff. And there was some guy on there who was trying to ask the question about how does like an atheist ground their moral framework to say that killing innocent babies is wrong or something like that. So basic
Yeah.
paraphrase there. And there were a lot of interesting responses, and I just think it's interesting because a lot of times people are only understanding pro-life from their unique religious or political perspective or their moral framework. And as somebody who's actually studied moral frameworks, as somebody who used to listen to a lot of philosophy podcasts, who has read books from philosophers on things, and I still can't remember all the terminology, but it's good to expose yourself to other people with a different line of thinking. And when you start seeing that you can have the Buddhists and the Jews and the Muslims and the Christians and the atheists, but they can all agree on pro-life, That to me is a beautiful thing because far too often, as I'm sure you're aware, people they first try to convert people to their religion so they can use their religion to explain their pro-life position. And
Yeah.
if your pro-life stance requires teaching somebody an entire moral framework first, it's probably not going to be very convincing. In fact, that would almost be like me if I tried to teach computer programming to my mother. And that's not going to work because that you have to have the background in math and you have to understand how to use computers first, and you have to understand the history about how computers work and the memory. There's a lot to go into it.